Good morning. I'm going to speak today about a feature in the Blazor server development. I will speak precisely on what is component extraction, on how to create a dynamic view on a web page. And I will illustrate all this with one product that I am currently developing, which is myspector.com. Before we dig in the technical presentation, I will present shortly myself. I am Thierry Bremard, Senior Software Engineer, mainly working in C#. I started to program in C in 2000. I have a Master of Science of Telecom Engineer in 2008. I made different internships. I started as a C developer for 2 years in 2008. Then, after this, I have worked for 10 years as a C# developer, mostly in a consulting firm in France. Then in 2020, I moved to Nuremberg in Germany, where I am working in the technical test team at GfK. You can contact me if you are interested to work at GfK, if you have good knowledge in C#. And after 2020, I started to look at the Blazor technology, which use the C#. What we will discuss in this presentation is first the Blazor server. I will speak very fast about this technology because there are a lot of video presentation on YouTube about this. We will see then a refactoring method, which is called the component extraction, which is like a method extraction in normal C# development refactoring. Then we will also combine this with a dynamic addition of HTML input on a web page and apply all these things on the project myspector.com that I am working on. What is Blazor Server? Blazor Server is, in fact, a server which runs under the ASP.NET Core technology. You have rather components and everything is in .NET. So this is a server and the goal is to communicate with the web client with different requests, and there is a signal air connection which enable to send only the diff of the UI to the web client. So the idea behind this, there is two big ideas. The first idea is to have C# technology in the front end. The front end is the technology that you use to design what is the view, the HTML that you have, and also a fast protocol with a small bandwidth. This picture on this is coming from the Microsoft website, so let's read it together. With the Blazor server hosting model, the app is executed on the server from within the ASP.NET Core. UI updates, event handling, and JavaScript calls are handled over a signal air connection. So I will not speak precisely about the signal air connection. There is more tutorials that you can dig, but this is a fast presentation about this. The other thing that you should be aware of is that, so this is another view. We have the web browser, which make normally a HTTP request to a web server. On the Blazor architecture is in C#. So you have the web server here, which is IIS, which is running a Blazor server. So as it is displaying the view, it is called the front end, and the thing is developed in C#. On everything which is contacting the database or any algorithm, which is called the backend, is also developed in C#. What you must be aware of, so this Blazor server is new and introduce the C# technology for the front end. So you have the same technology in the front end and the back end. The added value is that you can communicate from different layers with the call stack. So by the front end, by using the C#, you can reference directly other projects written also in C#, so everything is in the same memory space. In other architecture, you can have, for example, a front end in a specific version, like with HTML or JavaScript, like React. Then you can have a back end written in ASP.NET Core with a controller, with API, for example. In this case, you have a backend in C#, the front end in JavaScript, and you have another HTTP channel here. So by having Blazor written in C#, you can you see the added value of having the same language and technology in the different layers. Hello, so I am going to start now about the presentation of MySpector. MySpector is a solution written in C#. There is two big components. There is the back end and the front end. So the goal of the presentation is to create a dynamic web page with different components. And before going this, I will show you what the solution is doing. So I have here the project for the front end that I'm going to start. It is with the Blazor technology. So here there is a welcome page. Here I have the Trox page. The Trox is an entity. So the goal of the website is to create monitoring of other numeric resources. So you can monitor it, program it to extract data remotely and trigger notifications. Let's look at if I want to create a Trox. What is this? A Trox has a target where you can specify the HTTP target. The evolution in future version, you will have different protocols. Then you can extract and put different extractor tools. Then check and then notify by sending an email, sending a tweet, etc. Let's make a little trivial demonstration. So here I have a Trox which is called is2f7, which has a target type HTTP. We see the last result, which is $886.29. If I want to execute this Trox, I'm going to click on execute. It is loading the Trox, executing the process of extraction. You have here a little sum up of what has been done. I have the latency, the result which has been extracted, 886. And is it signal? Yes. Why? Because in fact, you see here there is the logs, input 886, and then there is a check. We have configured the Trox to check if it is below 1000, I should get notified, and then I have a notification. What you should understand is that if I want to send an email, I will receive an email if this value is obtained. On how this is obtained, it is obtained by the extraction of the target, and if I want to navigate the target, so the target is written here, and I have a link to the target, and you see indeed that the target is $886.29. So the tool that I'm speaking about is doing this. You configure all your target, extractors, checkers, and notifications. What we will work on is on the Trox creation interface. But before going this, I will show on the back end how the objects are organized. So to do this, I will show you some UML class diagram. So here I have the Trox main entity. On here you see the arrow with the open end arrow. So this means there are references. So one Trox has a reference to a grab target, which in fact is a HTTP target in our case. Then there is a list of extractor classes, then reference to the checker, then reference to notifier. So what I want to say by saying this is that I have a main component items and reference to different sub-item children elements. And this is in fact reflected in this kind of view. I have here the creation of the trucks. So all the trucks has all these components. The target, the extractor. So here there is only one extractor, but we should be able to cascade the different extractor, one checker and notify. The current issue is that the front end, if I go to the create trucks Razor page, if we look at the HTML code, this is quite messy. And so here you see the part which is creating the target here, target H2, which is this. Then you have the extracts part, which should be below. It is here. Okay, you see all this stuff. Then after the extract, there is a check, which is there. And then there should be the notify, and the notify should be I will zoom some source code so you see better. So the notify is there, and you see that the notify, contrary to the other, is a little smaller in when I speak about the content of the notify. And what I have done is code extraction to generate dynamically the content of the notifiers. So here you see a notify item, which is in fact embedding all the stuff like the other on the other thing above. Do not do this. And to show you what it is technically doing, notifier, I can add a notifier, and here dynamically I can update my web page and add different notifiers. So here, if I want to send an email, I can send an email. So the mail here, there is just a little display that the mail is not yet implemented. You can ignore it, but if I want to send 3 different emails, I can put 3 different emails like this. And then if I want to call a web callback, so it means calling HTTP URL, this will be evolved to take some input later, but I can do like this. And I can also send a tweet, for example. So there will be some input parameters to create the tweet, and it's done. What you have to understand is that this notification can be added dynamically, and I am updating the web page dynamically by creating a new notifier item, and this is in the code implemented with a for each loop. And this takes only this part in the code of the create trucks thing, and it is like doing some code extraction. So generally you speak about method extraction or class extraction. On here, what I have done on the create trucks page is I have extracted the item notify component. So what I will do now live with you is, because it is a little messed up in the code above, I will try to do the same kind of thing. So on the above component, so I will start first with the checker, then the extracts, and then do maybe only the checker and the extract. This should be sufficient. I don't know what we will see. The difference is that for the moment the checker, there is only one checker, while there can be a list of notifications, a list of extractions. There is only one checker, so there will be no any loop like this for the checker, but this is not the main point. This is not too much important to understand. We will do the both, checker and extract minimum. So I hope you have understood the goal of what I am going to do. So one more time, it is here, the full code is here, and I'm going to try to extract the code in sub-components. And if we want to see, we can see the item notify. So here you see that there is some some mess up in IntelliSense. There is some problems in Visual Studio. Visual Studio has some problems handling with Blazor, so sometimes it displays error while they are not, but that's why it's red. Notify, item notify. If I go to item notify, it is here. This is a item notify Razor component, and you see inside the div with all the stuff which is handling the code. Okay, so what I want to do first is I want to extract this parameter, this checker. I want to extract this checker. So the checker, in fact, begins here. Here I have the drop down to select which checker I would choose. Then I have the, so let's just look again what looks like the checker component. The checker component here is there. So I have the checker here. I have a pop-up here, checker type. I want to check if the number is less. And then dynamically, I have different parameters which comes with the operator which I chose. So number is greater. If I want a number is greater, the reference it will be, for example, 1000. Or equal should be a boolean normally. So it is not yet implemented as a checkbox, but it will be done later. Then in number is equal, I have only a reference, and text do contain, text do not contain, etc. So I will extract this part, for in fact not this one, but the sub thing here in an independent component to have the code of the creatrux which is smaller. So to do this, we have the checker type. So we have the checker, it is there. Okay. So what I can do is page, I'm going to create, add a new Razor component. I have the Razor component, and as my notify thing is called item notify, I will follow the same way of naming it. So this will be an item check. Okay, add. So now I have a component which is called item check. Good. To simplify, I will just copy paste the using statement which are at the beginning of the item notify, just because I am lazy. Maybe this is too much, but I'm going to start like this. Then I come back to the creatrux and I look at the beginning and the end of the component. So the check should start here. And so here you see the else if checker type, and here you see how the parameters are populated. Else if. And here there is a div. If I take the div here, okay, the div corresponds to this one. So in fact there is two div. There is two div in sequence. So I take this, I cut this. I am below the check here. It is cutted. Then I'm going to put this in the check. Item check. What I can do for fun is to do something like this. Okay. Like this, I have the div. I go above. I take H3. I go to the end just to manually see the bottom and the top. And here you have some error. You have some error because in fact the input is bound to a model of the Trox which is not anymore available because it has been isolated. The model is the model which has been linked to the beginning of the form which is here edit form, and I have a model with a Trox model. And in fact, the Trox model is the model of the view, which is defined here, Trox model, which normally should be the image of the Trox object, which is the pure business object. So this is the model for the view. On here, I add different components. So here you see the real objects which were referenced. So when I do this, create Trox, my model here that I was referring to is not anymore available in the checker component. To solve this issue, I will first isolate the parameter which is needed. So here, in fact, what I'm just needing is a checker type, because here you see the checker type, if we check, is on the, no, there is a checker param too. So I have a checker type which is needed. So I'm going to say I will use internally my private, my properties. So I will say I want to create a prop, which will be the checker type, and it will be called checker type. Okay, and the checker param for the moment is implemented like a string. In fact, I could see it directly in the Trox model. What has been done, the checker type here was this. So let's take this checker type. So I totally remove it from the model. Then I go to the item check. Okay, so this is better, like this. Checker type. And the check param. The check param is in fact for the moment only a string. And here I have a string. Then, once this is done, I'm going to update all the bind value fields, which are nicely put in red. So I have only the checker type. So in fact, I have, because I use the same nomenclature, I will just remove the prefix. So I do not use the attribute checker type of the Trox model. I am already obtaining my property checker type. So this is the name of the property, not the type. Trox model checker type, I remove it. Trox model checker type, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, this. This is boring, but so okay. Good. Now I can just put the comments like this. I like everything to be correctly indented. Good. Now, if I execute the code, normally everything has been totally extracted. The create Trox do not display anymore the checker component because we have removed it. So you see the check and notify. So just check, just to verify that the checker has been correctly extracted. I'm going to verify that it is not displayed anymore. So the check is there, the title, but we do not have any controls. So good. Now that it has been done, I'm going to reference it. So to reference it, by default, when you create a new component in Razor, it is available as a component with the HTML tag with the name of the module which has been created. So here it is item check. You see the file name is used, in fact. when you create a Razor file, the class with the same file name is generated. So item check is available, and I can use the create trox and create item check. Item check like this with like this. Okay, I rebuild, and now I should have again the same situation as the beginning. So I will have the checker, yes, with the brackets, with the little line which has been in fact hard coded by me by doing this little h3 here and h3 here. Okay. Good. So now if I come back to the code, create trox, you see that the component has been successfully extracted. And the code is simpler. So I can save this and commit this, and let's look at the diff. So the diff, we see that the create trox page has been modified. All the thing which is below the check is removed because the red means what has been removed. And we remove from the create trox component, from the create trox page, all this, and the green is what we have added. So by making component extraction, I removed from line 193 to line 259 and put only one line. And the item check has been extracted with the component which has been extracted. And you see here the plus, this is I have created a new file. And then the trox model has been impacted because we do not use anymore this thing. Okay, so I can stage it, item checker, and I will say that item check has been extracted. I can push this. Good. So now let's do the other component, which is the create trox, the extracts. Let's do the same work for the extraction. One more time, the difference between check and extracts is that in my model, I can have several extraction on only one checker. So I will do little more work like notify with the add button. So you will see something interesting which will happen. So let's first extract only one item. Extraction. Extract the extract item. So to do this, I will do like before. I am going to add a new Razor component. My item will be, my Razor component will be item extracts. Okay, it is coming here. Nice. Then I go to the item notify to take all the using. I come back here like this. I will just for fun put here some plus. I double like this. Okay. And I will come back to the create trox. So here there is a div. And I come and I'm looking for the input here. Extraction here. So I cut this. I save it, I go there, and I passed all the stuff like this. And here it is complaining for the same reason as just before. So I'm going to the model. I want the extract type, which is not anymore available. Because in fact the Trox model is not anymore available for the children. It is children independent. So I'm going to the model, look for the extract type. It is there with the default value of HTML XPath. So I take it, I move it there, I put it as a field, as a property inside my component. And what I can do is say that this should be replaced by another arrobas in the current document. So let's go here. Extract type is correctly substituted. Okay, 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 okay. Then there is the same thing here. I should take this Trox model extract type becomes only this. I come above, I look for it and I substitute there, 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 there. Okay, and then he's complaining again because he doesn't have the extracts param. And the extracts param is also available in the model. So the extracts param is there. I cut it and I put it there. Same thing, huh? Every component has a field corresponding to the type and then the parameters as a string for the moment. As this is not yet working functionally, I am building it. Okay, so I can save it and try to run it. And the extraction module should be absent. Okay, same thing, the extract has been correctly removed from the creatrox page. Now I will reference it. So I am going to item extracts. So it is called item extracts. One more time, this is the name of the file, which acts as the name of the component. So the item extracts is available. So I go to my create trox and I want the item extracts like this, and I reference it like this. I rebuild, I'm going create, and here I have my extracts. My extract system is correctly referenced. But I want to add different extracts because I want to cascade the extraction, because one extraction can take a big part of the target document. Then I can refine with, for example, text with between, for example. I will put the prefix between me and you. Okay, and here this is synchronized because it's linked to the same data. And I want to chain the extracts, like the notification. I want to be able to add different extractor like this. So now we will see how to dynamically add some components in the Blazor page. What is the code behind this? So the extraction item is here. So one first ID, I will first make an error and we'll see how we can solve it. One first ID is to say that as I am the item extracts class is available, I'm going to create a list of item extracts. This will be my extracts, okay, and I want it to be new list like this, okay, and I will have a button which, like my notifier, will add an extracts. I will add an extracts, and I'm going to update my extracts and add a new item extracts. So I am building a list of components that I want to display. I add an item, and this method add extracts will be triggered when we will click on a button that I will add now. So I add the button like it was defined for the item notify, and I am adding it there, and my button here on click will not call add notify but will call the add extracts like this, and it is not called add notify, it is called add extracts. Okay, and here I have still the item extract. So let's just check if the button is behaving like I want, and displayed like I want. I want to check that I have a button, add extracts, and here I can click on it. Nothing happens because yet I didn't change the code to display, but I can put a breakpoint in the add extracts here, and I will click on it, and then I am breaking with Visual Studio. I look at my list, and here in my list there is already 3 item. So I can put it in my watch. I can put it in my watch like this. Extracts, you see the count here. I click again, I'm breaking, and now I have 4, okay? So the list is correctly populated and increasing, the is now 5, okay? So the list is increasing, but now it is not reflected by the on the web browser. It's normal for the moment, because I didn't change this. I am there, so I have item extracts here. It is referenced only once, that's why it was appeared only once. And I will say that I will loop for each item in my extracts list. I want to display the item. So to reference it, I will say like this. I will use it, reference it, and like this. I am iterating for all the items. This I'm going to create a new extracts, so there is no one displayed here, and I want to add one, so it is correctly added. I remove my breakpoint, and what is happening is that Blazor is only displaying the type, so front-end pages item extracts. You see it here. So each time that I want to add, when I am iterating, Blazor does not act as I want. Because Blazor has some specific rendering features, you cannot render a component directly like this. You cannot store a component in a variable and reference it directly like this. The way Blazor is acting is, in fact, the solution is below. You have to create a specific component, so like here, but the list that you are populating should not be the list of a component, but the list of models which will go as an input of the component. So here there is a solution. Here I am in fact iterating in a notifier, which I will show you is a model. And then for each item, I will explicitly give the reference of the item until I will give you a model where my item is there. And here, if I look at the definition of this model, notify item, item notify, I have created a specific notify model class with a property called model, where I have my properties, which are the input of the component, the parameters of my component. So let's do this the same way. So in fact, what we are going to, so we saw that in fact the first ID to create a list of components is not relevant because you cannot push them on the view like this. You must create a list of models and put them. So let's do this. So in fact, I have not a list of extracts. I will say I will have a list of extracts models. You will see I'm in this case, I will try to write like TDD. So I write first the code, the target code that I want, and then implement it. So I have a list of extracts model. And here I do not do TDD because it's really linked to UI interface. It's hard to automate. So list extracts model, new list extracts model. Okay. So this will be my extracts model class. And here I will use item. Item in fact is the item extracts, where I will give as a parameter model my item. Okay. And why is complaining? Okay. So I can just check how it's behaving by doing this. Rebuild solution. This is an error because the model is not implemented as a property. It says there is an error. Yes. Just want to check if he sees type or namespace extracts model could not be found. Yes, I didn't define it yet. So item extracts, I want to put a model inside the item extracts. So what I am doing is in the item extracts component, I'm going to say that I will not use these two properties because in fact I could send the two properties, but because I have in the color referencing a list of items, I prefer to group them inside one single object. This is called object refactoring or parameter refactoring. So I will create a property of type extracts model, which name will be model. Okay. IntelliSense is putting me some break lines. I don't want it. Okay. And my extracts model will be defined next to my notify model. Class like this, and inside this extracts model, I have these two properties that I remove and I put there. Okay. My extracts model class is created. My model property is created. It constitutes is less accessible than item extracts model. There is a problem of inconsistency. My property extracts model is less accessible than property item extracts model because yes, my class has been default created in private, so I put it public. Okay. Good. And so now I have some errors because what I have done was a property which is not anymore available directly. It is using like an adapter. So I am going to say I will prefix all my references with model dot like this. Okay. So I will use it there. So let's do extract type like this. Extract type like this will be changed with parenthesis model dot extract type. In the current document, let's look if it's work. Yes, so replace all like this. Okay. And then at extracts param, same thing. Extracts param become at model. So when I'm speaking, I see a lot of errors. I mean, look at this slide where there is all the red. So I should replace. Let's just check the first. Okay, so all like this. It should be good. Okay. So there is no more red here, so the file is correct. Item extract. So now I have a component where all the data is stored inside a model, which is a public property of it, and where inside I have the different properties that I want. So two in the case for the moment. There is still something missing, but we will see it. I run the II Express. There are some errors. What is the error? Cannot convert item extracts to extracts model. Yes. So the extracts list is now a model. So when I populate it, I will need to create a new model like this. Okay, I relaunch it. Trucks, create new trucks, extracts like this. And then he says there is an error. Unhandled exception occurred. See browser, so reload. Let's look if we can see the error. See browser dev tools for details. I know why there is an error, but I just want to check if we can have an explicit message. Browser dev tools. Console. Okay, here. Let's look at what he's saying. System invalid operation. Object type item extracts has a property matching the name model, but it does not have the parameter attribute or cascading. Okay. So this is the problem. In fact, what he's saying here is that the item extracts has a property named model. So let's look at this. The item extracts. He has a property named model, but does not have the parameter attribute. Why is saying this? He's saying because when you want to put some parameters inside a property, so here I want to use a property and set it, the parameter name should be decorated by the parameter attribute. So now that the property, public property model, is decorated with the parameter attribute, it can be accessed by the parent element which is using it. So now I have done it. I rebuild again. Troxes, create new trox. I have an extracts here. Okay. And I want to add. Good. The thing is, if I want by default only have one when I start up, like this. Let's do it. So when I start up, the object is initialized there. So my list by default is empty. The extractions, like the notifiers, and what I did is on initialize, I add already a notifier. So I will do the same thing. I will call the add extracts. So at the startup, at the initial state, I will have one entry in my model list, so one entry in the view. Create new trox. So here I have one entry, extracts. And if I want to add another one, like this. Good. So let's finish this. I save everything. So one more time, you can review this, you understand better. There is a trox model in the back end, and which is referencing list of extraction. So what we've done is, in fact, what we have done is the same architecture as here. So in the back end, I have a trox which is referencing a specific independent class, extraction. I have segregated the dependencies. And here, if we look at, the better is look at the diff. Also, I'm going to commit this. So if I look at the component of the extracts, I have removed all the extracts data here, all the extracts code. Instead, replace with the for each element item extracts with the data, and the item extract is created because here you see the plus sign, and all the code is extracted in an independent component. So it's more reusable. Then the extract parameter has been removed from the trox model and extracted in a specific extracts model. So this permits to create simpler and smaller objects. And now I can say that I have created the item extracts. So extracted component item extracts. Good. So this is this was the core of the presentation. I can just try to enhance slightly by creating the same layout as here. Very beautiful layout in blue. So to do this, I will just put a div above it. So when I look at my item check, my item check is inside. No, my item notify is there. It is in the div which is defined here. BG primary text white. Okay, this is a component of the Bootstrap framework. So I'm going to the item extracts. I go above, put a div like this at the beginning, put a div like this at the end, restart it. Troxes, create new trox, extracts is in blue. If I add one, I have add one like this, like the notify. And for your information, you can get this kind of information in the website of Get Bootstrap. And here you have the different examples or how to do some styling. So sidebar, for example, you can have sidebars. And okay, so this is ending the presentation. What we have seen is how to extract some code in some independent components to reduce the main source code, how to dynamically add some child elements by clicking on a button. And the solution is not to make a list of the components themselves, but to create a list of models, which will be the input of the component that we want to add. And we saw also how to expose the model property as a public property and with the parameter attributes. This is a standard. And the last thing I didn't spoke about is that every add trigger a state has changed, which is a method internal to the Blazor framework to say, I want to update the UI. This is a part of the component base class. So I have advanced the project and continued the refactoring. I will show you the layout, what it is. So it is now the target has been done. You see some blue. The extracts is done. I can add different extracts. Checker is done, also in blue. Notify is done, also in blue. Okay. The code that I have changed has not been recorded, but I will show you now how it looks like. There is here two div for the global attributes of the trox, name and enabled. Then for each item there is a specific section name with the item target attached to the model. The section name is in fact only the title. And if you go to the section component, you have a very small amount of code. So this is just a horizontal line and then name with h2. And this gives the possibility to continue the refactoring. So to avoid having some redundancy in HTML code, I use the section name and I use it in different places. So here you see section name target with the item target, section name extracts, section name checker with the item check, section name notify with the item notify. And each item is attached as a property which is called model, which has the specific type. So now you look at the extracts, create trox, how the code is different and easier to read than the first version at the beginning of the video. And we have here in the code section the different models which are here allocated. So the TROX model, which is in fact the parent model, the target, the extracts, check, and notify. What we can do, we can continue to refactor slightly. The issue currently is that I am having reference to different, I have different dependencies. And for example, the item target with a target model. And in fact, the target model is a dependency, the target is a dependency of the TROX, which is here. The extracts also is a dependency of the TROX. So my architecture in the backend can be translated in the front end with the models. By saying this, I mean that here I have at the same level the different instantiation on the different class which are accessed. So what we can do is say my TROX model is currently it is reduced to this, and there is the different models here, notify model, check model. What we can do is that now that the page corresponds to us, we can slightly enhance the coherency and the logic of the code which is behind, and say that each of these models should be inside the TROX model. So I'm going to take them, I'm going to the TROX model, and expose them as a property. By doing this, so I change the private to public, and I do this for the different properties here, and I come back to the main color, and of course there is here you see 4 errors because they are not known anymore. So the TROX model will the target model will be available via the TROX model reference. The extracts models will be available also like this. Same thing for the checker model, which is now a property of the TROX model. The TROX model also has a list of notifiers. And here there is only 2 red. The 2 reds is for the notifiers models that I access like this. Good. So now I have changed where the models are located. I launch the project, extracts, create TROX. So the target is there, the extracts is there, the checker, notify, and notify. Okay, so in the layout nothing has changed in the last iteration, but you see more coherency in the different dependencies between the different classes. So now let's have a review on this code. If I zoom out, you look. So the edit form is started here. 2 fields, then section with its models, extracts with its models, button here to add, checker with its model, notify with the list of models. So it's very clear. Now it's much easier to read than at the beginning.